What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, or Dead Reckoning Part 2, whichever you prefer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, the end of an era. If I remember correctly, and what I saw when the movie had initially released, apparently this is going to be the last Mission Impossible movie starring Tom Cruise. The rest of the series is going to continue on, but there's going to be a different team. I think, if I remember correctly, even that Tom has already handpicked the next actor to like take over the franchise, or at least there was someone in the running. I forget exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure that the series will continue on, but just with a new face other than Tom Cruise. Which honestly, when I kind of saw that, a part of me was expecting him to die in this episode, or in this movie. Thankfully, he doesn't. Because I was like, does that mean he like die? What if if Ethan dies in this movie or not? But no, Ethan lives to fly off into the sunset or whatever. But yeah, man, honestly, now, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, you guys would know that I have been, last week and this week, I have just been binging how many Mission Impossible have there been, actually? Was it like 8, 9? How many? Yeah, 8 movies. There's 8 movies released at this time. And it's been, like, obviously I have seen all these movies before at one point or another. But I honestly cannot remember a goddamn thing about any movie because of the long gaps between each film. I legit remember very little from the previous film when the next one would come out, man. And you guys could probably tell that in my review. So, and also just so I have an excuse to finally, have it all ranked on my Letterboxd, I went back and binged all 80 films. Which also, I gotta say real quick, one thing that's really fucking cool about this thing is that about Letterboxd right now is that I don't know if this is gonna be a thing for forever or not, but on Letterboxd, if you rank a Mission Impossible and post a review, you get this little video playing of where it's where you have been disavowed. This review will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Ethan comes in there overwrites and posts a review. It's a really cool little video that you play when you review Mission Impossible movie. It's really fucking sick, man. So I really think that's a really nifty feature that they added. I don't know if this is gonna stick around forever or if it's just because Dead Reckoning Part 2 Final Reckoning whatever recently finally dropped on Paramount Plus. But either way, man, it's really fucking cool. It's really, really fucking cool, man. And overall, man, this film is fucking incredible, man. This is easily my favorite Mission Impossible, which if you've been keeping tabs on my Letterboxd account while I was reviewing these films, you would know they said about practically every Mission Impossible, every Mission Impossible movie, besides Ghost Protocol, I thought was better than the previous film. Literally, even I was kind of shocked when I was getting deeper into the series, and I kept noticing I liked Rogue Nation more than I did the third one. I liked 2 more than 3. I liked 2 more than 1. I liked Fallout more than Rogue Nation. I liked Dead Reckoning Part 1 more than Fallout. Though I'm gonna be honest, that one is a bit they're about neck and neck, man. It's kind of up in the air a little bit. It's kind of what's the word where it's I forget the word I'm looking for, but basically I kind of flip-flop on those two. They're basically neck and neck, and it kind of I kind of go back and forth which one I like more. It's kind of going back and forth when I was rewatching the films. But the more I thought about it, just the cool stunts and everything, man, and just how well directed and how well edited the film was, I ended up thinking yeah, I think I like Dead Reckoning a little bit more, but that and Fallout are practically neck and neck with me. This one takes the cake. This one is this is easily, in my personal opinion anyway, the best Mission Impossible film, man. And for me to say about a franchise with 8 entries is pretty impressive, man. That I think each one, that I thought almost all of the minus Ghost Protocol was better than the previous one, which is saying something. I don't know if this is, I doubt this is a common opinion, because especially for some of the reviews, some stuff I've seen about the Final Reckoning, man, at least that one looked looks like people weren't as super high on it compared to some of the other previous films, at least from what I saw. I didn't really pay that much attention to reviews or anything, man. But that's what it seems like it came off to me but yeah, I don't know if this is a common, opinion with Mission Impossible, that people love that each film people thought was better than the last. I'm sure people have their favorites, obviously. Fallout was a big one, man. But yeah. Anyway, man, the film is incredible, man. Honestly, if you ask me, not only should this movie be getting nominated for Best Editing once again, because I thought once again this movie was incredibly well edited, especially with how they incorporated the IMAX shots, man, which, Jesus Christ, bro, the IMAX scenes, man, are on another level. But also just how, but also like I love the smash cuts they did between the two fights that were like the first big IMAX sequence of the film, man. I thought that was so fucking cool, man, how they were like smash cutting hits between what was going on in like Alaska or wherever they were at to, you know, find this thing where Benzine and the others were at while Tom is facing up against some random dude in a submarine. So I thought like how they were like smash cutting going back and forth, man, I thought was super well edited, man. That sequence looked amazing, man. But yeah, anyway guys, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into the actual movie. So the movie is directed once again by Christopher McQuarrie, if I'm saying it. McQuarrie, if I feel like I'm saying it right, and stars Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Pon Kelmentafine, if I'm pronouncing right, Ving Rhames, Angela Bassett once again returns, man, and Esai Morales, if I'm pronouncing his name, I'm probably saying it wrong, and many more. And the plot of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, the Final Reckoning, Ethan Hunt and his MIF team embark on a high-stakes mission to track down the formidable artificer known as the Entity, which has successfully infiltrated the global intelligence network and poses an unprecedented threat. So, but first off, man, the cast is great, like I mentioned, Ethan. Tom is once again great as Ethan, man. He's been great in all these other movies, man. And like, I have to say this real quick, man. The fact man, bro, is straight up pushing 70. Actually, ain't he like 70 now? Let me see what his age is. Okay, he's 63. Never mind, my bad. He's now 63 years of age. I think he was like still in his like 50s when Dead Reckoning was being filmed. Whatever. He's 60 plus years old. There is no reason that a man of his age should be doing the crazy shit he's doing in movie life. I thought, you know, the Halo jump in Fallout was insane, man. The motorcycle jump in Dead Reckoning was crazy, man. But the shit he does in this fucking movie, I'm like, bro, you are over 60 years of age. There is no reason you should be doing this. But yet he does, purely for the love of the game, man, and you gotta respect him, man. Seriously, man, especially like the underwater sequence and the plane. I'm like, how the fuck was this even filmed? The underwater sequence, especially, man, I wouldn't be surprised they did like sets, or maybe they did the whole dry to wet thing. Maybe they did film shit underwater, like using James Cameron's new tech or something. I'm not entirely sure how. I'm not sure if any of this was meant, if there's any like, if the Blu-ray included any like behind the scenes stunts were filmed or not, man. But the plane especially, man, I'm like, bro, you were over 60. Why are you doing this? You were over 60 years old, bro. There's no reason you should be doing this. It is actually insane. But yeah, we got of course Tom Cruise, man. Shout out to him, man. But yeah, he's great, man. Tom, like I said, the dude's fucking insane. Bro is over 60 years old and he shouldn't be doing this shit. But yeah, he's great, man. Palm is once again great to see her again, man. You guys remember I mentioned in my Dead Reckoning review, she was probably my favorite character of the new cast that were introduced in this film, man. So I was really happy that she didn't actually die, and she actually got to come back for this film, man, and was a major character, man. She doesn't really do a whole lot much, unfortunately, man, but I was happy to see her once again, man. Haley Atwell is great as Grace, man. Grace is cool, man. Not my favorite Ethan Love, if I'm being honest, man. I definitely prefer Elsa, if I'm saying her name right, or his like wife from Mission Impossible 3, especially his wife. Those two I kind of would put neck and neck with each other, man. I kind of like them about the same, but for different reasons, kind of. Grace, man. I ain't got no problem with her, man, but she ain't my personal favorite, man. But yeah, he's great, but she's great, man. Angela Bassett is electric as she always, man. You guys know how much I love Angela Bassett, man. Greatest, goated actress, man. We stand Angela Bassett here, man. We all love Angela. Esai Morales, I swear I feel like I'm saying his first name wrong. You guys may remember in my first review, I wasn't really that high on Gabriel as I filmed the first one, especially when I went back and rewatched the film, especially because like with all the praise, especially like, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman, the guy from Rogue Nation and Fallout, of course, Henry Cavill as well. I wasn't feeling it, man. And like definitely that continued when I rewatched the film yesterday. But with this film, I definitely say this movie add a lot more to Gabriel to make him a more interesting and entertaining villain. He's still kind of like a distant like third probably in terms of Mission Impossible villains, man. With Phil Seymour Hoffman probably taking the top spot, man. That dude, man, Jesus Christ, generational performance, man. Like that opening for Mission Impossible 3, he's the best in the series, man. Like my God, what a fucking opening, man. What a fucking opening. But anyway, man, but yeah, he was great, man. But he's probably different, but this one definitely added a lot more to make him a more interesting, more entertaining film to show compared to how he was in Dead Reckoning. And yeah, the rest of the cast, man, is great as always, man. No complaints there, man. Now, let's get through the obvious stuff. Let's talk about the stunts. Let's get through the big stunts, man. Okay, first, like I already mentioned in my review, or I mentioned, earlier in the video, I mentioned already that the underwater sequence, man, is insane. And like, if you thought Rogue Nation was crazy with its underwater, bro, Tom was like, hold my fucking beer with this movie, man. Jesus H. Christ, man. What a fucking sequence, man. And it's like, and I love to go back to what I was saying about the Eddie, man. One thing that you guys know, man, I'm a sucker for when the aspect ratio naturally changes rather than just being like cutting from like the standard aspect ratio to the IMAX aspect ratio back and forth. Man, you guys know I like when it does that gradual thing where you can see the screen getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You guys know I'm a sucker for that. I always point to Hunger Games Catching Fire and how it handled it, man. And I thought it was so fucking cool how it did it, man. It was like, I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. But this movie did that same thing, but even better, because this time how they do the IMAX aspect ratio for the underwater sequence is that Tom, or I guess I should say Ethan, is turning this valve to get the water inside before he like exits out of the submarine to go and find the ship for where the motherboard the motherboard, the source code, or whatever, for the entity is being held, which we saw in the opening of Dead Reckoning. And so we got this whole thing where, like, as he's turning the valve, you can see the screen expanding with it as he turns it, and then he stops for a moment. It stops, and then it like gets bigger once he starts turning again. It is so fucking cool, man. And like, even watching this movie on my small ass, what is this, 20, 30-ish, probably somewhere around that range, TV, man, my jaw was on the floor. That whole thing, man, it was so stunning to look at, man. If I got to see this movie in IMAX, bro, shit, bro, I might have passed out. I might have passed out or something. I might have came in my pants. I don't know. Something was gonna happen in that theater, man. I was definitely having an even bigger response to it than I did when I was watching this on my TV, man. But I got to see this in an IMAX theater because Jesus Christ, it looked incredible, man. Seriously, that sequence is so insane, man. Like, easily one of the best stunts in Mission Impossible, easily. It is truly insane, man. So you got that, man. The fight, like I said, with I mentioned other one that was when Ethan is in the submarine, great as well, man. I love the way it was edited, man. The smash cuts there was phenomenal, man. There was also, and like, I also should say, like I said, I mentioned how I think this movie, I mentioned Dead Reckoning, that this movie should get nominated for Best Editing, and I say the same thing for this movie as well. This movie should be getting a Best Cinematography nomination, because there is this one shot when Ethan is like, and when Ethan reaches the top of the ice. It is easily the best shot in the entire fucking Mission Impossible series, man. Hell, I'd say this was the best shot of 2020. When this movie come out? 2024? 2025. The best shot of any movie in 2025. This one shot alone should give them a best cinematography nomination. And I'm not even joking. It is truly a gorgeous shot, man. I saw that shot. I was like, oh my god. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes, man. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous shot, man. I love that shot to death, man. Seriously. Like I said, that shot alone should give this movie a Best Cinematography nomination. Easily. It obviously ain't gonna win it, because that award belongs to Avatar, Fire and Ash, but Mission Impossible should also be getting a nomination for it. Anyway, seriously, that shot was truly just jaw-dropping, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, man. And then, of course, you got the plane sequence, which was all over the trailers and the promotional materials. Like I said, Tom is 60 plus years old at this point, man. There is no reason he should be doing this crazy shit, but he does, man, and it's an incredible sequence, to the surprise of nobody, man. I don't know what compelled him to do this. Maybe after finishing Top Gun Maverick, he decided to do another plane sequence, man. He still had that itch or something. I don't know. But man, it was an incredible sequence, man. With him, with the flight, with the dogfight, man, him getting on Gabriel's plane, man. It was a sight to behold, man. What an incredible sequence that was, man. But yeah, the music is once again great as well, man. I've been really digging the music for the last couple of movies, though I will say, easily Mission Impossible 2 and Fallout easily have the best soundtracks, in my personal opinion, especially 2. Yes, that's mostly because it's done by Hans Zimmer, and I am biased. You guys know how much I love Hans Zimmer, but Hans Zimmer, man, that man understood the fucking assignment with Mission Impossible 2. That score is fucking incredible, man. Seriously. So you got that, man. The music is great. Once again, man, like I said, cinematography is great. The editing is great. Like I said, should be getting Oscar nominations for both categories, as far as I'm concerned, man. I also really liked, honestly, because this is the last movie, at least the last one with Tom Cruise in it, with Ethan, as the last one, Ethan's story. I love how this movie does a great job of is a great finale to the series, man. I really love how they tie everything up. They even bring in like some loose ends that they brought that you didn't think that we would know, and they brought them into this movie to tie things up. And like to not get too deep into spoilers. The two things I thought was really cool the movie did was, one, actually tell us what the rabbit foot actually was, which is nice that we finally learned what the rabbit's foot actually was. And we also get to see some innocuous characters from the previous films come back. I'm assuming played by the same actor. And like, you know, we get to see what he's been up to, man, and he gets a lot of cool stuff in the movie, and that was a nice, pleasant surprise to see, man. So that was pretty fucking cool to see that as well, man. I also love how liberally this movie used flashbacks, which had I not gone out of my way to rewatch all the previous Mission Impossible films, I definitely would have been very appreciative of, just because, you know, like I said, a lot of these movies are very old and I haven't seen them in years, so that definitely would have helped refresh my memory, like, okay, this is what happened, at least know what's going on at that current moment. So thank you, Mission Impossible Fallout, or Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, for liberally using flashbacks of previous films, which I thought was a really nice touch to show how far the series has come, man, and like mention, like, shows and pay homage to the previous films, man. I love this movie. This is an amazing finale, man. I think it does an amazing job. A perfect way of ending Ethan's story, man. And I think it is the finale to this era of Mission Impossible, man. I think it did an incredible job, in my personal opinion. I thought the film was a beautiful conclusion. Now, to get on to the negatives, man, now you guys may know that the main complaint I've heard about this movie, at least from what I've seen, is a lot of people are saying the movie is too long, that this movie is almost 3 hours long. People think it's bloated, it's too long, they should have chopped this down like 20, 30 minutes. And me personally, man, I don't know what y'all smoking. This movie, like I said, it's almost 3 hours, but it does not feel like 3 hours. Hell, I wouldn't have minded if they added an extra 10 minutes to make this a 3-hour film, man. I thought this film was the perfect length, man. It did not feel bloated, slog in places at all, man. This film just, like Avatar Fire and Ash, it's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours, man. I did not mind the length of the film whatsoever, man. I'm kind of surprised that was such a major complaint, because like I said, I didn't feel the length, man. It felt just fine to me, and I wouldn't even mind it if they went an extra 10 minutes to make it a full 3-hour film, man. That's just my personal opinion. But I will say the one flaw I have with this movement, the one flaw, minus I said I wish Paris got more screen time, man, because like I said, I loved her, I wish she got more screen time, is the fact there's this one scene where Ethan goes fucking ham on some of Gabriel's men. He's chopping them to bits, but you don't see shit. You just see Grace's reaction as Ethan is just chopping and killing these guys, and the bloody aftermath. I'm sure this is done to the movie. Don't risk getting the movie in R rating, but come on! I hate it when movies do this shit, man, where they like have something violent, but they don't actually show it to you, and I just hate this shit. It's funny, her reactions are funny, man, and the scene I think works from her reaction, man, but at the same time, it's like, bro, let me see him massacring these people, man. What the hell? Let me see some yandere Ethan. What's it like here, man? Little yandere Ethan ain't hurt nobody. Seriously, man, like, what the fuck was that? I'm sure it was done to keep a PG-13 rating, but like, come on. Risk the arm, man. Let me see that. Let me see Ethan chopping these motherfuckers. Because, man, that would have been awesome, man. The sound, all you hear is the sound effects, man. And, like I said, Grace's expression, man. They should have seriously shown that, man. Seriously, I'm kind of pissed off they did. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, I've ran on long enough. This film was a fucking masterpiece, man. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Oh yeah, final verdict. To the shock of nobody, it's a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on social if you feel like it. Links are below. And as always, back for more. See you guys next time.